Hello everyone, I'm Vivian. I just wanted to give you a quick intro as to what a mind detox immersion really is. You can find out more on my website, insideoutchange.co, and I will put that link underneath the video. So if you're watching this, it's probably because you feel like you've got too much on your mind at the moment. Whether you think that's about work or family or finances, it doesn't really matter. If you're struggling with stress or overwhelm, anxiety, maybe you feel like you're in some kind of vicious circle that you can't get out of in your mind, or maybe you'd just like to free up some mental capacity to help you do better in life in general, in work or with your loved ones. However that mental overload is expressing itself, then you're probably feeling tired. It's exhausting to feel like that constantly, isn't it? And you can rest assured we all feel like that from time to time, whether we're a CEO or we're living on a beach in the Bahamas. Everybody gets to experience that mental overwhelm at some point because we're all human. That's the way we're made. So when I'm talking about stress or anxiety or whatever you want to call that mental overload, I'll talk about it quite differently from many others who are looking to help people with these issues. And for that reason, during our mind detox immersion, we're not going to be adding anything to your to-do list. I won't be asking you to put aside any time in your day to practice coping strategies or mind calming exercises, anything like that. I'm just going to be pointing you back constantly to something that we all overlook and that's already there within us and in the design of the human operating system. Now, there's an analogy that I think really illustrates very well what I'm talking about here, and I think maybe it will make what I've just said a little bit clearer for you. So, if you can imagine that you live your life in a swimming pool, and everyone around you lives in the same swimming pool, and you're all madly treading water to make sure that you all, keep your heads above the water. So this is what you've been doing for your whole life, and so have all the people around you. No one knows any different because it's what we've all been taught. This is how our parents did it, it's how their parents did it, and that's how we've all been taught down the generations about how life works. We have to tread water, and the better you can tread water, then the better experience of life you'll have. So sometimes someone will come along and they'll give you a hint about how you can tread water better. Just move your arms a bit differently or kick this way instead of that way. And it seems to work for a while. So, great, you've got a better experience of treading water. And then you see someone with a really good flotation device for sale and you think, oh, I'm going to get me one of those flotation devices because that will really help me with my treading water. And you get one, and indeed it does seem to help for a while. And then at some point you realize, oh, I'm treading water again. That wasn't the secret after all. I thought I'd really found the secret to treading water really well. So in this model of the world, everyone around you is full of good advice about how to tread water better. But it's still really tiring, and you're still treading water. And so when one day you notice a couple of people just gliding past you as if they weren't treading water at all, but maybe just walking, you think, obviously, they've got some kind of next generation super duper flotation device, or else they've got really long legs to be able to do that. Maybe they've got stilts or something. There is clearly something very special about these people and different. They've got something different that you don't have. So you catch their eye and start to make conversation with them to see what their secret is. And in that conversation, they happen to mention to you, actually, did you not realize that you're in the shallow end and that you could just put your feet down on the ground and stand up, and then you wouldn't need all of this stuff? And you're a little bit skeptical because, you've been treading this water for quite some time now, and you don't remember a time when you didn't have to tread the water. You clearly know the swimming pool very well. So for someone to tell you that you could just put your feet on the ground, you're a little bit skeptical. But you decide to give it a go, and you put your feet on the ground, and indeed you are in a shallow end, and you can just stand up. And suddenly everything seems easier because you don't have to tread water anymore. And the beauty of that is once you've seen that you're in the shallow end, you can't unsee it. Even if from time to time you find yourself treading water again, there's something in the back of your mind that says, yes, but I know actually now that I'm in the shallow end and that I could just put my feet down, I'll be on solid ground again. So that's the difference. That's what our immersion retreat will be about. I'll be helping you to see where it is that you're misunderstanding how life works. And I'll point you constantly back to that solid ground beneath your feet. That's always there. That's always been there. And in fact, it goes everywhere with you. It's part of you. There's nowhere that you have to go to find the solid ground, and there's nothing that you have to do to find the solid ground. It's always there. So that's the territory that we'll be exploring on our Mind Detox Immersions. If you'd like to know more, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, I'm listening with open ears. And I look forward to hearing from you soon.